something strange is happening in professional motocross that nobody is talking about publicly. Factory-backed riders who have spent their entire careers on gas-powered Hondas, KTMs, and Yamahas are quietly adding electric dirt bikes to their training routines, not announcing it, not posting about it. And here is what makes this uncomfortable for the gas world. Once they start training on electric, they stop going back. The gas bike that used to be the center of their program starts collecting dust in the corner of the garage. It happened with one rider, then three, then an entire Red Bull event entry list. And now, a former AMA 250SX champion has publicly admitted he has not touched a gas motorcycle in over a year. That is not a trend, that is a migration. And the 7 electric dirt bikes behind it are about to change how you think about what belongs in a pro rider's garage. Number 7. Sur-Ron Ultra B HP. The first sign that something was shifting came from the most unlikely place. Not a factory team announcement, not a press release. When the Red Bull Tennessee Knockout opened its EMoto class, the bike that showed up more than any other was the Sur-Ron Ultra B HP. More than half the entries chose it, over machines costing twice as much, over bikes with bigger batteries and flashier specs. The Ultra B HP at $6,499. The 2025 HP model pushed output to 21 kilowatts through a new hairpin-wound motor, a 68% jump over the previous generation. 56 miles per hour. Traction control, 3 power modes plus a turbo mode that unlocks everything the motor can give. GritShift ran a long-term test and called it shockingly dependable through hundreds of hard miles. But the spec sheet is not why pros are choosing it. The reason is simpler and more honest than that. At $6,500, crashing this bike does not end your season financially. A pro rider doing daily training destroys equipment. The Ultra B lets them push limits without doing math in their head every time they send it into a berm. When more than half the riders at a Red Bull event independently chose the same bike, that is not a coincidence. That is a verdict. But if the Ultra B proved that pros trust electric at competition level, the next bike proved something even harder. That an unknown brand can earn respect from the toughest testers in the sport overnight. Number 6. Arctic Leopard XE Pro. GritShift published an article in March 2026 with a title that stopped the community cold. Arctic Leopard XE Pro S Enduro, tested by pro riders, damn. That word carried the weight of everything the EMoto world had been trying to prove for years. Professional testers put the XE Pro S through aggressive off-road conditions, and the reaction was not polite approval. It was genuine shock. 20 kilowatts through a direct drive motor, 600 Newton meters at the wheel, 62 miles per hour, and a 3,960 watt-hour battery that won a head-to-head range test against every competitor in the lightweight class. But the engineering detail that separates this bike from everything else at its price is the drivetrain. No belt, no chain, no jackshaft. Direct drive with a reduction gear. That means zero drivetrain maintenance. For a pro burning through chains and belts on a weekly training schedule, that is not a convenience. It is hundreds of dollars and hours saved every month. Rev Rides called it the best bang for your buck in 2025, and the pedigree behind it is not theoretical. Arctic Leopard secured first, third, and fourth in the 2026 Dakar Rally electric motorcycle category. This bike was born from the DNA of desert champions. And at $53.99, it costs less than a single A-kit suspension rebuild on a factory gas bike. Here is where the story takes a turn. The gas world never expected, because the next bike wearing a pro rider's trust is not from an electric startup. It is from KTM. Number 5. KTM Freeride EXC. The KTM Freeride EXC is the industry's worst-kept secret. Ask any factory KTM rider what they train on during the week, and you will hear the same answer delivered in the same low voice. The Freeride. Not because it is the fastest bike they own, because it is the quietest. A professional motocross rider who lives within earshot of neighbors cannot fire up a 450 at 7 in the morning without generating complaints, fines, or worse. The Freeride E lets them roll out of the garage at dawn, ride their backyard track for 2 hours, and roll back in without a single person knowing. WP Exact suspension, the same family of components on KTM's factory race bikes. Full-size 21-inch front and 18-inch rear wheels. 19.2 kilowatts, 59 miles per hour. Street legal in all 50 states. And here is the competitive advantage nobody is measuring. A rider who can train every single morning in their own backyard accumulates more seat time per week than a rider who needs to load a truck, drive to a track, unload, ride, reload, and drive home. Over a season, that seat time gap compounds into a skill gap. The Freeride E is not winning races. It is building the riders who win races. KTM will never advertise this because admitting their electric bike makes their gas riders better undermines the 450 they are trying to sell you. But the riders know, and the Freeride keeps selling. Now I need to pause here because there is a pattern forming that most people have not connected yet. And once you see it, you cannot unsee it. The pipeline works like this. First, a pro adds an electric bike to the garage for quiet training. They tell themselves the gas bike is still the primary. Then they notice they are riding the electric bike 4 days a week because there is no warm-up, no cool-down, no oil changes, no air filter maintenance, no chain adjustment. They just grab the bike and ride. Then they notice their skills are getting sharper because they are logging twice the seat time they were before. Then someone asks them to race the electric bike at an event, and they think, why not? Then they realize the gas bike has not been started in 3 weeks. That is not a theory. That is exactly what happened to the rider closing this list. But before we get to him, there are still 2 machines you need to see. Number 4, Segway Xaber 300. The Segway Xaber 300 is giving pro riders something no gas bike in history has ever offered. Data. A 450 gives you a stopwatch and a gut feeling. The Xaber gives you lean angle telemetry, traction loss events, GPS-tracked laps with throttle overlay, and customizable power maps you can tune between sessions through the app. For a professional whose career depends on finding 1/10 of a second per lap, riding blind is no longer acceptable when a $5,299 electric bike offers more training data than a Moto GP telemetry rig from 10 years ago. Marzocchi suspension front and rear, 21 kilowatts, 600 Newton meters, 60 miles per hour, a virtual electronic clutch, and a virtual wheelie coach using Segway's gyroscopic sensors. Pros are not replacing their race bikes with the Xaber. They are adding it as a training tool. And that is exactly how the switching starts. It enters the garage as a supplement. It becomes the favorite, and slowly, quietly, the gas bike gets pushed to the back wall. But if the Segway replaced training data, the next bike replaced an entire modification culture. Number 3, Ventus 1 Plus. The Ventus 1 Plus delivers 32 kilowatts peak in a chassis weighing 152 to 165 pounds. To understand why that matters, you need to know what serious riders have been doing with Sur-Rons for the past 5 years. They buy a stock Sur-Ron for $5,000. Then they spend $3,000 to $5,000 more on an EBMX controller, a Qi battery pack, upgraded suspension, and custom wiring. $8,000 to $10,000 total to build a machine that makes roughly 25 to 30 kilowatts. The Ventus 1 Plus arrives at that performance level out of the box for $5,999. Electrodirt calculated the power to dollar ratio at $214 per kilowatt versus $600 to $680 for competitors. R-Floxe suspension tunable for rider weight. DA4 brakes with calipers 30% larger than standard, and 81 miles per hour on the top end. Riders who spent years and thousands of dollars perfecting their modified Sur-Ron builds are looking at the Ventus and asking the question every builder dreads. Why did I do all that work when this exists? Everything we have covered so far has been impressive. This last one is a confession. Number 2, Y-Volt Surge V. The Y-Volt Surge V carries the one engineering advantage that every other bike on this list, including the $12,900 Stark Varg, does not have. Liquid cooling on the motor. Every competitor uses air cooling, which means after 15 to 20 minutes of sustained hard riding, the motor pulls power back to protect itself. Pros call it thermal throttling, and they all know the feeling. The Surge 5 pumps coolant through the system and holds peak output regardless of session length. 47 horsepower. 948 Newton meters at the wheel, the highest in the lightweight class by a margin that is not even close. A 97-volt Samsung 50S battery with 4,370 watt-hours, the largest capacity pack in its weight class. Up to 93 miles in conservation mode. Y-Volt documented an endurance rally across high-altitude climates, steep mountain passes, and water crossings. Naze Drip reviewed it and said it enters a different tier altogether. For a pro who runs 3 or 4 20-minute motos back-to-back in a single training day, the Y-Volt is the only bike on this list that delivers the same power on the 4th moto as it did on the 1st. That is not a luxury at the professional level. That is a requirement. Number 1. Stark Varg. Justin Bogle is a former AMA 250SX champion, not an influencer, not a content creator, a professional motocross champion with factory rides and national titles. In November 2024, at the Verb Moto press conference for the AMA Arena Cross, Bogle said something that sent shockwaves through the gas world. Quote, "The last year it is the only bike I have ridden. A 250SX champion voluntarily stopped riding gas motorcycles. Not because he was paid to say it, because the Stark Varg replaced everything else in his program. He raced it against gas bikes in France, England, and Italy before returning to the United States for the 2025 AMA Arena Cross electric class. Josh Hill, a former AMA Supercross winner, is competing on the same platform. Jack Brunel won the 2024 British Arena Cross Championship on a Stark Varg against gas bikes on the same track under the same rules. Eddie Carlson earned Super Enduro podiums. The FIEM Super Enduro Series now runs Stark Vargs as a factory-supported program. 80 horsepower, KYB suspension, 5 customizable ride maps, 60 firmware updates since launch, meaning the bike literally gets faster and smarter after you buy it. And a liquid-cooled battery that holds power output 20 minutes into a moto when air-cooled competitors are fading. The Varg is not the cheapest bike on this list. At $12,900, it is the most expensive by a wide margin. But when a 250SX champion tells you it is the only bike he has ridden in over a year, the price stops being the question. The question becomes, what does he know that you do not? So here is the question. If a former 250SX champion has not touched gas in over a year, what is stopping you? Which of these 7 would you add to your garage first? And which one surprised you the most? Drop it in the comments, because I guarantee the gas versus electric debate in this comment section is about to go nuclear. And if you want to see a head-to-head training session comparing the Segway Xaber's data suite against a traditional gas training setup, subscribe now, because that video is coming.